Hey, you want the smoke? I got the smoke. Let's talk about it. All right, coming to you raw and uncut. All right. Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and leave a comment. Let me know how you're feeling. Let me know if you agree or disagree with anything I say tonight. All right, Monday Night Raw. It was interesting. Yeah, it was interesting. I think we only had maybe three, four matches and a lot of talking. It's it's hard to watch. It's hard to watch now. I mean, some of the matches you might catch that might be good. Some of the matches you might catch, you know, that may not be good. I mean, there's no real storylines going on with any of the matches that are happening. We got a few PLEs coming in and stuff. Night of Champions coming. Then we got Saturday Night Main Event. Then we got the Women's Evolution, coming. It is SummerSlam is coming up. I mean, it's crazy, but there's no storylines to bring you engaged into anything that's going on. Like tonight. So we end up with Liv and Dom coming out. All right, Liv, talking about all her accolades, that she's, a full-time tag team champion. She's a world champion and everything. And, Nikki Bella came out, messing with her and everything. And then, Nikki, just because Nikki didn't say her name or give her props, last week, Liv was have something against Nikki now. So the match is supposed to be set up for, I believe, Evolution and stuff, but we all know Liv hurt herself. She blew out her shoulder, and I hope that she gets better soon. If that thing is separated, it's going to be about 3 to 4 months before, maybe 6, depending on how well she heals or if she has to have surgery on it. Hopefully that's not the case. But anyway, through that promo, Io Sky comes out and everything. So whatever was going to happen with Io Sky and Liv now is in the hangar. That's not even gonna happen and stuff. Now they had to change things with Liv and Nikki Bella and stuff. So stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for all of that. I'm not even gonna go into that or even try to make sense of it. It would have been good had it, happened and everything because the way that Io came out saying that, Liv wants the belt, but she's not gonna steal it the way that she's trying to come out. She had to work her way up to it and everything. And then Io says, "Hey, if you want the belt, here, I'll just give it to you. You want it?" So she throws the belt, and Liv catches it. Then Liv catches a kick and goes down, drop kick and goes down. And Dom tries to protect, and he gets a kick to the head too. So that was pretty good, pretty funny and stuff. So, but anyway, I'll be praying for Liv. Hopefully, speedy recovery. Hopefully, it's not that bad of an injury. Then we have the women's fatal four for the queen, of the ring, which was Stephanie Valkyria, Ivy Niles, Raquel Rodreguez, and welcome back Oscar and stuff. The match was okay. There was a lot of botched, moves in it and everything. It wasn't as clean as it should be with the ladies that are in there because you have, Stephanie Valkyria. We all know she can work well in the ring, and Oscar, she's a master in the ring and stuff. Ivy, she's coming in her own groove. Raquel, she's still stepping into her own groove, even though I know she's like more of a power wrestler and everything and stuff. But as the match goes on, you know, um, if you go back a week or two ago, where Ripley was trying to qualify and Raquel Rodriguez came out and caused her the match and everything, so she couldn't advance to become, at least fight for the title. And so the same thing happened tonight. Rhea comes out, rip ties Raquel onto the ground, And the winner is Oscar. I mean, they wasn't gonna let Oscar lose because it was her debut back, for her leg, her knee injury that she had about 9 months ago and stuff. So welcome back, Oscar. Look forward to see some good things for her and everything. And then we have Liv, saying to Raquel back in the background, you know, looking for them to go talk and do some strategy for her match with Kyrie Sane later on and stuff. Raquel is like, hey, doctors haven't released me and everything, so I guess she's feeling some kind of way or injured a little bit, whatever, after that match that they had, for the Fatal 4 Way. And then, we have JD McDonough, asking Dom why is he going against AJ Styles and stuff and not going for the tag team titles. That was him and Finn's thing, was to go for the tag titles. But, Dom is telling him, because AJ is trying to come after his title and stuff, that JD McDonough is, should go and try to take him out. He reference back to Finn Balor, who was supposed to have done it a couple of weeks ago, but never didn't get the job done. So the match was set up that way, and then Dom was like, "Hey, you guys can go for the tag team belts a little bit later and stuff." So, and then with that, and then AJ Styles match is about ready. I mean, it was just so many things going on. Ah, man, I'm just kind of lost in my notes a little bit. Like I said, raw and uncut and stuff. So, but anyway, Dom says AJ has been, trying to, go after the title and all that other stuff. And so that's why they're in that match later on tonight. Then we get Gunther coming out, you know, and Gunther saying the same old thing, about he's giving Jay his props and everything, that, he beat him and, stuff like that. Then he tries to say things, about Seth Rollins. He knows that Seth Rollins, you know, um, has the briefcase to come out at any time, but Seth Rollins can't even come, and nobody can stand up to Gunther and stuff, is what he's saying. Then after he goes back and he says all that and everything, out comes Goldberg. And Goldberg, come out, his pyro and everything. His entrance is like stellar, stellar. I love Goldberg's entrance. There's none. I think that's probably my top five and stuff as entrance coming to the ring. But it it was good. But then by the time Goldberg got to the ring, inside the ring, he was so sweaty and everything. I was like, man, he's gassed already and everything. So they go on. How Goldberg says it. And this is pretty crazy because the match. I guess I don't know if this is Goldberg's last match. I mean, he never said that he was last. He told Goldberg that he was next. So I don't know what's gonna go with that. If Goldberg has another couple more matches in, trying to retire or whatever. But we know when the match is gonna be set up for them. I believe it's gonna be at Saturday Night Main Event. And we all know that Gunther's going to be Goldberg. Goldberg's not going to get that title. But we never know. But anyway, then we have JD McDonough versus AJ Styles. You know, um, the match was okay. It was good and stuff. I'm glad to see that JD McDonough is able to get around the, ring the way he is after what happened to him a few months ago. Oh, that was really scary. But anyway, AJ gets the win, even though Dom tried to interfere. It didn't happen and everything. And AJ gets the win. All right, then we get Bailey coming out after a while, and so that Bailey's talking about she takes nothing for granted and everything. She was robbed from a title match, and that was back at WrestleMania when Becky jumped her, her and Lyra went on become tag team champions through that, and then we know Becky turned on Lyra Valkyria and stuff. So it was more or less, that, and Becky, coming in, um, saying that Bailey, I guess lost herself, and while she was injured, that nobody really cared about her and cared that she was gone or anything like that. I mean, I can't really say that. I mean, I kind of miss Bailey and her antics and stuff, because at any time we know Bailey can turn heel and become a good heel. I don't know if I like Bailey as a face, but anyway, you know, they get their thing on and stuff. Lyra Carrier's name is caught up in it and stuff. But anyway, at the end of all, they there's going to be a match between Becky Lynch and Bailey for the Intercontinental title and stuff. And that probably could be, I mean, it'll be Raw, but then I think it's going to move on to the Women's Evolution. Um, so that's how I'm seeing it. Uh, they have the next match on Raw. I believe that Becky will retain that title. That match will have a rematch on there. They'll still be feuding, hopefully through Evolution 2, and then they have the rematch, and then Bailey wins the AIC title to where Becky can move on and probably become another world champion and stuff. It's going to be interesting to see. Hopefully they get this crap written right, and I don't know, because with Triple H, you see what we're getting. You see what we're getting. And then we had a little segment with Sami Zayn in the back talking to Kathy Kelly. Um, and then Karrion Cross comes out and stuff, and he gets up under Sammy's um, skin and everything. And so I'm sure there's going to be a match with Karrion Cross and Sami Zayn. It's, because Karrion Cross is saying that Sami Zayn is kind of crazy, thinking differently. He's not the same person, that he was before and stuff. And I kind of see what Karrion Cross is trying to do with Sami, trying to bring out that beast mode in Sami. But that's Sami when he was a heel and stuff. Sami as a face is not going to bring that out. I know he gets that little anger, but it's nothing like when he's a heel. So I can't wait to see the match between Karrion Cross and Sami Zayn. That should be a pretty good one and stuff. So now we get Kyrie Sane and Liv Morgan, and then this match, even before the match, actually about 10, 15 minutes, 15 seconds into the match, Liv blows her shoulder out and stuff. So, like I said earlier, hopefully it's not that bad. She'll be out for, a few weeks, maybe a few months and stuff, to let that thing heal and then come back and stuff. But everything that they had, in line for Liv, that's forget that. It's all erased. So I don't know what they're gonna do later on as things move down the road. It's kind of sad, but I'm hoping that they can get it together. So, but then after that, we start the men's fatal four way for the men's King of the Ring: Jey Uso, Rusev, Sheamus, and Bronson Reed. So this match, it was okay. I mean, it wasn't what I thought it would be a little bit more exciting and stuff, but it really wasn't that exciting. But it was good. I mean, it was a little bit slow, but it was okay. But anyway, um, as the match moved on, it seemed like Jimmy took a lot of beating in the match, you know. But it's like when you get hit with something, you kind of got to sell it, let the crowd kind of get into it and believe it. In this match, boy, there was a lot of no selling because some of the hits that were being delivered. Come on now, really, you gotta, you gotta sell something. You gotta make it at least look real. Like it hurt. But anyway, The match got better when Braun Breaker came down and he pushes Jey Uso off the top rope. And then Sami Zayn comes out, jumps on Braun Breaker. They go at it and stuff. And at the same time, Sammy gets wasted. Um, man. And then Braun Breaker throws Sammy over the announcer's table. Yeah, and then Penta comes out and everything, and man, it just was a hey May. It was okay, but in the end, as we know and we should have known, now I don't even understand why it's gonna be like this. But now you got Jey Uso going against Cody Rhodes. Now we know Cody Rhodes brought Jey Uso into Raw from the Bloodline, back from SmackDown, and everything, and they've been friends like tight, like brothers ever since. So now, King of the Ring, who's going to win that? They're both ex-title holders, one for the Universal, the other one for the World Championship. So who's going to win that match? Who's going to go? Who's going to go on? It's I don't know. I just can't wait to see what happens. And then Seth Rollins comes out, and then Cody comes out, but then they have this big long stare down. Oh man, and it's crazy. So nothing got done with that. It's just a little hype and everything. So, but it ended up with a stare down, and that's it for the Raw recap and everything because it was crappy. But anyway, I'm gonna give it a C minus and stuff. So thank you for watching. God bless. Deuces, and we'll see you on the next video.